Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I'm Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. One of my most anticipated games of the year.
Yeah.
And having played it, early lead for Game of the Year. Hands
It's very
down.
funny. Sure.
I love this game. If you don't know what Theatrhythm is, Theatrhythm is basically a rhythm game with the entire spectrum of Final Fantasy music, and it's a rhythm game. And there's a whole bunch of weird twists on it that we can get into, but I honestly kind of just ignore and just play my fun rhythm game. And I think that's honestly how probably 80% of people play Theatrhythm, but...
That's how I play the 3DS one as well. I was like, there's a lot of interesting JRPG things in here that don't matter.
That's right, I did unlock Cloud, and now he's level 99. I don't know what that means, but time to do Zidane, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, the 3DS one is what comes to mind. That's kind of, I think, is that the only other one? I think that's the only other one, right?
Yeah.
So if you play the 3DS one, I'm going to be completely honest, you've pretty much played this one. There are very minor changes that we'll kind of get into here, but the basic game is there. So you've got 3 different types of ways to play this. The main one is like a battle stage where you've got 4 lines coming at you, and your characters are attacking enemies, a boss at the end. You miss notes, you take damage. The more accurately you hit notes, the more damage you do. Your characters have their special abilities that doing different things unlocks and causes damage to the boss, but really, honestly, you're just trying to get through the song.
Yeah.
It's just, we kind of layered some things on there to make it more than just, oh yeah, it's Rock Band, but you're playing One Winged Angel. Get it?
I thought the thing that was like really weird about the rhythm system is that you have 4 lanes coming at you, but they're all the same button.
One button. Any
which
button.
is really
any button.
Which is so odd. Like I didn't quite understand. I think it just makes it more visually interesting as opposed to like a single line, I guess is the idea. I'm not quite sure.
That's got to be all it is. I think it's just like if we had one line of notes at you, it's much more simple. It's much more basic. It doesn't look as fun here.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, I just smash A. Everything's A, and if it's a 2-buttoner, it's A and R. And that's it.
I don't know how you didn't destroy your fingers playing this game doing that. I don't think I could have handled that.
It's seriously like my hand does like hurt a little bit, but I think I put like 15, 16 hours into this thing in the last like 5 days. So yeah. I like this game. So the other one, so there's the battle one. There's a field one, which is basically the like get from point A to point B, which all your characters are kind of doing is just walking along and you swing at a few things on the way, no bosses. It does add in a different thing because it has a slide control, so you have to hold the button and slide it, which again is where kind of the different lanes come in because you bounce between the lanes with that.
Sure.
And then every game, once you finish a game, you get a much more traditional looking one where it's a cutscene playing in the background and just the 4 notes coming down at you. And that's kind of it's actually pretty cool because most of them are like game recaps where it's like, okay, we'll start with like the opening and we'll end with normally not like a spoiler for the final scene, but scenes from the end of the game. Like,
is it like a CG? Is it like a CG video running doing that, or what do you mean?
Yep. So it's just a CG video.
So it's like so it's like it's lifted straight from the game. It's like
it's lifted straight from the game. So it's like it's just the cutscene spliced together in a 3-minute chunk set to with music playing in the background. That's all it really is. It's nothing crazy fancy or anything, but it's fun once you finish a game. The one thing that I absolutely love with this, and this is a huge change from the 3DS one, is this is just play through a game. So you pick a game and you play through the story, which is really cool. So like, let's say you pick Final Fantasy X because it's the best one, and it starts you out and you're playing like, okay, here's some of the songs from like when you land on the beach and when you're in that town. Okay, now we did that. Now we get to like the Thunder Plains. Okay, you're playing some of the songs from that. Okay, now we're ending out. Okay, now you're playing the songs that play during the final boss and you're fighting the final boss. So you're getting the whole like timeline of the game as you play through this like 10 to 15 songs. Whereas
that's cool. I didn't realize it was going in order because I think Melody of Memory did that, which is by the same team where they did it. Because I think the 3DS one is just like songs.
The 3DS one has a lot of weird like you're on a quest and here's the random 6 songs that showed up and there you go, play these and you can go in the menu and pick whichever ones you want if you want to do that. But it's very clearly like segmented. So like, again, you play through Final Fantasy VII. You click on Final Fantasy VII to unlock it. You unlock one at a time. you play through Final Fantasy 7. It unlocks the party from Final Fantasy 7 to have as your characters.
Yeah.
You play through it, and you get like some different unlocks as you go. Again, I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but you get some cool unlocks in this that you didn't in the 3DS one, in terms of characters and other things. But yeah, it's very straightforward, and the nice part is that you can play. You play 3 songs, and then you unlock another title. So like you start out, you pick Final Fantasy X because it's the best one, and you play your 3 Final Fantasy X songs. You get an unlock, and then you go, okay, I just played 7 Remake. Let's do 7 Remake, and then you pick 7 Remake. You can play 3 songs, so you can kind of bounce around that way. But I do like that it's not just like Curtain Call was, where it's just like, here's all of the songs, go crazy, have a great time. It's much more. There's a much more progression. You do get credits, so you do finish it. After you beat 7, you unlock the Theatrhythm one, which is like 7 really cool melodies of things where it's like, okay, we kind of arranged like all of these different things from Final Fantasy 7 into one song. We kind of took some of the battle themes from different. They're very, very cool arrangements of it. A little bit longer, a little bit tougher. You play those 7, and it's like, oh yeah, you unlocked the crystal, yay!
Oh, that's
okay. Here you go, play all the games again.
So was there? So I mean, like as you're going through, like, did you just play the Final Fantasy games, like Because I know you played a lot of Final Fantasy games, but I imagine you haven't played like 2 or like I think 5 maybe. Like were you like discovering Final Fantasy, or just like I'm just gonna do 7, 10, the ones you like, or did you actually try playing some of the other ones that you like didn't really know that well?
So I think, as of recording, I haven't played 100% of it. I'm at like, I don't even remember where I'm at. I've played all but maybe like 5 or 6 of them. But yeah, I started, so the demo carries over, and the demo gave you 15, 14, 7, and 5. No, 2. I don't remember, one of the early ones. So I was like already halfway through those, so I just knocked those out first.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, it's like, okay, well, I guess we'll do 10. All right, 7 Remake. All right, Crisis Core. All right, 13. All right, 9. All right. And you go through the ones that you know. It is kind of fun just to hear the music, because again, you can hear kind of common threads throughout it. In every game, I mean, there's every game there. There's one that is just called Final Fantasy Series is the name of the title, because you just got the titles, and it's like weird ass games that I had to Google that I didn't know existed. Like one was some DS game that never got released outside of Japan, and there's 3 songs from that there. And then it was like Stranger of Paradise popped up, and I was like, oh, forgot that existed. And that's just really funny. Final Fantasy Series, and it's just like all these random games that are like spin-off side pieces that you wouldn't even think of. But all the main games 1 through 15 all get their own chunk. There's a 10-2, there's a 13 series where you get X2 and Lightning Returns, and a 7 series where you get Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus and all that kind of. Not Dirge of Cerberus. Dirge of Cerberus?
There's not many other Final Fantasy 7 games besides Dirge of Cerberus and Crisis Core.
I don't know why that name felt weird to me when I said it. Anyway, I think I went Cerberus and went to Mass Effect. I think that's what my brain did. But anyway, it's fun. And again, you get the characters as you go, and you level up, and you get like the cool like abilities, and okay, you unlock their ultimate attack, and you get these things. I don't really mess with it, but it's fun things to kind of unlock as you go. They're like little just kind of pieces. You get it. You unlock the different airships as you level up. So like the airship will fly in and drop you off. So like, oh, I got the airship from Final Fantasy 9. Okay, jumped off. Oh nope, I got the one from 10 now. Okay, jump off. So just it's lots of cool little things like that. The art is really cool. The characters look good. There's lots of again, some of the earlier ones like 6 and stuff, how they've kind of like taken those characters. I'm going to 6 because that's the one I know that's kind of an earlier one, and made those into this art style, so you get a little bit more personality to them than they have in just the Super Nintendo games, which is fun.
Oh yeah, I think they actually use like the Nobuo, not Nobuo. Oh god, who's that guy? The guy who does the logos, like that. Those designs are like the canonical designs for like Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3. Is that like painterly style, isn't it? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Oh my god, the guy who does all the
logos,
but he also did all the concept art and stuff. Like it was the concept. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh Jesus. Okay, well, it is interesting that the original the concept art for the original Final Fantasy games, that's what their canonical design is now moving forward, and that is interesting. Thank you.
No, that is versus like the just little like the little sprites and pixels and everything that you got from the NES and Super Nintendo. Yeah, I got you. Look for our review of Final Fantasy behind the scenes book later on.
Yeah.
Again, it is one of those things where, because this is, I think, 35th anniversary of Final Fantasy, and this is kind of like, oh yeah, for the 35th anniversary, here's Theatrhythm.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? But as you play through it, it is just kind of this like cool celebration of Final Fantasy because you're seeing the storyline of every game. You're getting like the music, which is arguably one of the most important pieces in a Final Fantasy game. You're seeing the characters. You're getting all of these pieces that just really do a good job of kind of highlighting how cool Final Fantasy is. And it's one of those things where like a game like Final Fantasy 9, which I absolutely love, only played like 1.5 times, and then you're going through and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this song. Oh yeah, that boss, I forgot about that boss. That boss sucks. I hated that. Like you kind of
Yeah.
get those feelings back, and it's just a cool way to kind of remember and celebrate Final Fantasy. So if you like Final Fantasy, you need to check it out. It's a fun rhythm game. There's a whole lot of other systems that I'm sure somebody else could explain way better, that after 15 hours of
Sure.
this and plenty of hours of Curtain Call, I could not explain to you, but I'm sure they're fun too.
Yeah. Are you excited for all the DLC stuff? Are you gonna get into that because it has all the different Square games like Nier and Live Alive and all that other stuff? Or
The one I like that it's very piecemeal, that you can just go game by game. You don't have to like buy like a big chunk, because and
sure.
they're well priced. Like Live Alive is like 4 songs for I think like 250. It's like I can do
Oh,
that.
nice. Yeah.
We can get into
Yeah.
my issue with the deluxe edition that I did not realize gated Xanarkand, or one of the best songs in the Final Fantasy universe, behind the
Sure.
$30 deluxe edition. We can get into that, but we won't. But yeah,
Yeah.
but like Live Alive, World Ends With You comes out in about a month and a half. They're putting those ones in there.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
there's lots of
Yeah.
ones I'm interested in, just how it'll play and how it'll feel in this. So it'll be kind of cool to see what they add for those. But
Yeah.
as of now, very cool Final Fantasy game. Very interesting, just kind of like history piece, if nothing else.
Nice.
But we're Workforce Gaming. We try to have new videos up every Monday. Please leave a comment or subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon.
Bye.